Hello everyone, it's that time again.
It's time for another anime season.
The fall 2015 anime season with your hosts, Firemac and
Eneps.
As always, our list is based on first impressions.
Boy, was there a lot of great anime this season.
We had a super hard time deciding which anime made the cut. Sacrifices were made, lives were lost. But we ended up with a pretty solid list.
We got a mixed bag of genres for you this season.
We got your usual mecha,
Your usual action anime,
some old favorites,
some thrilling mysteries,
comedies, and
even sports.
buckle up, because it's going to be a thrilling ride.
But before we get started, here are some honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. Our honorable mentions this season include many intriguing candidates that showed promise, but in one way or another, they were lacking.
Some are returning shows or are new concepts that didn't quite find the proper execution.
It's also worth noting that amongst our honorable mentions are some movies.
We felt like they deserved some mention.
These titles may prove to be well worth your time, but they just couldn't make the cut into this season's highly exceptional group of titles. Number 15. We start our list off with Chivalry of a Failed Knight, otherwise known as Rakudai Kishi no Cavalry.
The plot summary is as follows. Magic Knights are modern magic users who fight with weapons converted from their souls. Iki Kurugane goes to a school for these magic knights, but he is the failed knight, or worse one, who is failing because he has no magical skills. However, one day, he is challenged to a duel by Stella, a foreign princess and a #1 student. In this duel, the loser must be obedient for life.
This season had a trio of very similar anime, with this one being amongst, but in particular, this one was almost a carbon copy of our honorable mention title, Gakusen Toshi *, down to the point to how our male protagonist runs into our female protagonist.
But this is where things begin to diverge. While Asterix protagonist acts more cliche, our protagonist here takes a different route. I won't say for those who intend to check this title out, but it's definitely a fresh take on the trope.
This anime had a solid start with some very well animated fight sequences, and some very interesting character development despite some obvious tropes.
It looks to shape up to be a very entertaining anime, but so far it has a lot to prove to be an amazing show.
Number 14. Next up is TAIMADOU GAKUEN 35 SHIKEN SHOTAI.
Otherwise known as Anti-Magic Academy, the 35th Test Platoon.
The synopsis is, people with magic powers are close to being wiped out. Just as the balance of power and military might had once shifted from swords to sorcery, it shifts once again to guns. Takeru Kusanagi goes to Anti-Magic Academy, a training facility for inquisitors of heretics who crack down on the dwindling threat posed by magic users. However, Takeru cannot use guns at all and can only fight with a sword. As a result, he is relegated to the 35th Test Platoon, the motley small fry platoon, for poor students. One day, Oka Otori, the ultra-elite pistol master who already has her qualifications for witch hunts, joins the platoon.
As you can see, this is the third anime that is like the other two we just recently mentioned. But unlike the other two, this one is vastly different.
The world is well established with its own set of rules and history.
Well within the first episode, you get the sense of immersion you expect from such a vast and deep-rooted world. You get a sense of what is acceptable and unacceptable.
Witches are dangerous, and any witchcraft is handled much like any other black market item. We don't know that much yet, but we're going to be left wanting to know more.
The characters each have their own quirks and histories. They're already well-developed and interesting characters. They don't feel forced or too over the top. They sit at a comfortable medium.
This anime is sure to prove to be an entertaining one. Number 13.
Coming in at number 13, we have OSOMATSU-SAN.
Here's a summary. Matsuno household has naughty and mischievous sextuplet sons, led by the eldest Otsumatsu. They were grade schoolers back in the Showa period, but despite of still living in the same old household, the street view as well as the lifestyle of modern day society have changed drastically.
Where do we begin? This anime in particular was hard to judge at first, because it's an old returning classic anime, but after seeing the first episode, we really didn't know what their style was quite yet.
We were unfamiliar with the original Otsumatsu-kun, so we really didn't have much to go on because the first episode was chock full of anime parodies and references to many of modern anime tropes. While it was a fantastic episode, we knew the following episodes wouldn't be able to keep up that level of hilarity.
While we were mainly correct on this assumption, it still delivers pretty stellar comedy. It's well worth your time to check out OSOMATSU-SAN.
Number 12. Next on the list we have Comet Lucifer.
Planet Gift, there are precious crystals called Githium buried in the earth. A young man named Sogo lives in Garden Indigo, a prosperous mining town. Sogo's hobby is to collect rare crystals. One day he gets wrapped up in a riot caused by his classmates Kaon, Roman, and Otto, and he loses his way until he finds a lake deep under the ground's mining ruins. There he meets a mysterious girl with blue hair and red eyes that gaze straight ahead. The story follows the adventure of what happens after this meeting.
Another anime with a vibrant and well-established world. It gives a sense of similarity to an anime known as Eureka 7. To the adventurous boy who likes to feel the adrenaline of riding his hovercraft, to the mysterious, possibly alien female character, you will get a sense of nostalgia for Eureka 7, assuming you have actually seen that anime.
There's a great sense of thrill and adventure forming well within the first episode, and we can't wait to see where it goes. We hope it can continue the quality of excitement and wonder that they gave us with the first episode.
Number 11. With the speed of a volleyball, coming in at number 11, we have the second season of Haikyuu. You remember this anime from one of our previous videos. You may recall that we were very dismissive of this title back then, but boy were we wrong to give it such a negligent dismissal.
We checked out the first episode of the new season. We can immediately see why everyone is raving about this sports anime. It's got the very energetic and inspirational characters you would expect from the top-of-the-line sports anime.
They have big dreams and they have already suffered some losses, but they are ready to move on and improve. It's highly entertaining to watch, and you'll even have some laughs while you're at it. It's highly recommended anime, especially if you're into sports or just volleyball. Check it out! Number 10.
Another blast from the past. We have young Blackjack coming in at number 10. Get your stitching hands ready.
Ready, set, go!
You're already healed.
Perfect, flawless surgery! Kuro Hazama, an aspiring young medical student, studies diligently from Dr. Jotaro Honma, a top surgeon who had saved Hazama's life when boy Hazama was badly injured by an unexploded bomb. Someday in the future, Hazama will be known as Blackjack, a surgeon with unsurpassed skills, but without a license.
We take a look at the early life of the legendary Blackjack with this anime. We get to see his early starts and his journey to becoming the legend.
The anime starts off strong with a little boy who loses 2 limbs and be very reminiscent of Edward Elric of Full Metal Alchemist. With no doctor willing to save the poor boy's limbs, it's up to Hazama to do the surgery!
You can get a sense of the old with this anime, and that may hurt it in some ways.
For example, in the beginning, when the boy loses his limbs, we watch a bunch of civilians watch in horror as they could have easily just grabbed the kid and saved him from his inevitable accident. We understand these crazy surgeries need to have a proper setup, but they could have handled that scene better or at least have hidden the exact events, much like how they never really show us the surgical procedures that Hazama performs.
Despite these small nitpicks, the show is still very entertaining and enthralling to watch. While this incarnation of Blackjack may not have been written by Osamu Tezuka, we can definitely sense the inspiration and quality of him, and we highly recommend that any Blackjack fans go watch this anime.
Number 9. Slashing in at number 9, we have NORAGAMI ARAGOTO.
It's the second season of NORAGAMI. While we haven't gotten around to watching the first season, we were still very excited for this season.
I personally have checked out the first episode of the new season, and it still holds up to my expectations. With crazy techniques and a crazy world with its own logic, everyone seems to be a god of some sort, and that's a pretty interesting dynamic for the show. It reminds me a lot of other anime of its kind, to the point to where I would describe NORAGAMI as a mix between Soul Eater and Bleach, with people who can become weapons much like Soul Eater, and a lot of creatures known as Ayakashi that can only be seen by those who can deal with them, much like the Hollow of Bleach. It looks to be a very fun and exciting action anime to watch.
While we're not sure how the first season went, we are still very hopeful for this season to be a good one.
Number 8. We hit a pair of mysterious anime starting with number 8. SUBETE ga F ni naru, the perfect insider, otherwise known as Everything Becomes F, the perfect insider.
Sohei Saikawa is a member of the Saikawa Research Lab. He goes on a vacation held by the lab, and Moe Nishino Sono, the daughter of his mentor, joins the group on their vacation despite not being a part of the lab. There, the two end up finding a corpse. Two work together to solve the mysteries of what becomes a serial murder case.
Jinkies, Eneps. It's hard to start talking about this anime without starting to get into some of the plot. From what we know from the beginning is that Dr. Magata is suspected of murdering her parents, but is being held at an island research center away from the public in order to make use of her genius intellect.
The main character, Sohei Saikawa, is obsessed with meeting this Dr. Magata, so his pupil, Nishino Sono, makes the effort to set up this meeting.
We can only expect bad things to happen after this. Isolated from the public? Check. Murderous suspect? Check. Crazy women? Double check!
While the murders have yet to happen, the story remains engaging enough to retain your attention.
Everything's very realistic and down to earth, so when the horror does start, we can expect to truly feel the terror of the characters as they try to solve the mystery of Magata.
This anime proves to be a very thought-provoking and dark story. We can't wait to see how the story unfolds.
Number 7.
The mystery anime that beat out Perfect Insider is SAKURAKO-SAN no Ashimoto ni wa Shitai ga Umatteiru, otherwise known as Beautiful Bones, Sakurako's Investigation, or A Corpse is Buried Under Sakurako's Feet.
Shotaro Tatawaki is a normal high school student with a serious demeanor who likes to show off his girlfriend Sakurako Kujo. Sakurako is an extraordinarily beautiful woman in her mid-20s from a rich family who loves beautiful bones. The two live in the city of Ashikawa in Hokkaido, and they get involved in various incidents regarding bones.
The reason we picked this anime over Perfect Insider is not because the mystery is better, but because the characters are just so much more entertaining to watch.
Sakurako herself is the most intriguing character of them all. With a deep obsession with bones and an intellect to match it, she solves all sorts of mysteries with just a few glances.
Her relationship with the main character is an odd one. I hate to make the comparison, but it's not that much different from Boss and Snake from Metal Gear Solid 3. They have compassion for each other, but they aren't exactly dating. But at the same time, they aren't exactly not dating. It's a difficult concept to explain, but if you watch the anime, you'll get an idea of what we mean.
There is much more to the anime than just the mysteries, as the characters themselves seems to be a bit mysterious as well. With their histories not immediately discussed, we can only make guesses of what led them to where they are now. We expect them to dive further into their past as the series goes on.
It's an exciting and rewarding anime to watch.
Them bones, them bones,
Them bones, them bones, them bones, them bones.
Number 6.
Blasting with a mix of new and old is Concrete Revolutio Choujin Genso at number 6.
Tokyo is flooded with countless heroes, Choujin, during the time of apotheosis. Their origin stories are all different. While some were altered by evil organizations, others came from space, magical worlds, or are fairies from ancient times, or robots. But the Japanese government could not simply close its eyes as these superheroes ran rampant.
This anime is freaking awesome! It's a crazy fusion of old and new anime.
We get magical schoolgirls to mecha to all sorts of old anime genres. It's crazy what you'll end up seeing.
It's a fresh take on anime that we are loving. The storytelling jumps around in time, which can be quite jarring at times. But once you understand where it all falls into place, you'll be loving every second of it.
There's a mystery, and there's action. And it's all stylish as hell. You almost forget that this anime is from the modern era.
There's just so much going on that you won't even bother questioning some of the crazier stuff that happens, like a giant invisible man sharing the same body as a normal human being, where the only way they can save them is by killing them.
We can't promote this anime to you enough. It's seriously a great mix of everything nostalgic and with everything that makes it an entertaining show.
What are you waiting for? Go watch some Concrete Revolutio.
Number 5.
Slicing and dicing its way into number 5 is Owari no Seraph Nagoya Kensen-hen, otherwise known as Seraph of the End, Battle of Nagoya.
Yuichiro has reunited with Michaela at the Shinjuku battle, but Michaela was turned into a vampire. To save the family and to protect his fellow members, Yuichiro needed to gain knowledge and power. He searched for ways to bring back vampire to human beings, and at the same time trade hard working on the cursed gear. Meanwhile, Kureto calls Gorin and tells him a shocking truth. In 1 month, the main unit of the vampire will start attacking Tokyo. To get a head start against vampires, Kureto orders Gorin to go to Nagoya. The noble extermination mission is about to open fire.
Although we haven't seen the first season to this anime, we already knew this was going to be a solid title. I personally decided to check out a new episode of the second season despite knowing that I would get spoiled. It was only to check out if the story was still strong. And you know what? It's beyond amazing right now. Everything is just so freaking intense. The action of this anime is top notch, and it reminds me a lot of Bleach with its named swords. There's plenty of drama and plenty of twists already within the first episode of the second season, so you can expect this series to retain its intensity throughout to the end.
We're very excited to go back and watch the series from the start.
Number 4.
Thrusting in at number 4, we have Mobile Suit Gundam Iron-Blooded Orphans.
300 years after a great conflict between Earth and Mars, known as the Calamity War, a woman named Cordelia sets out on a journey to Earth to speak for the independence of the Martian city of Christ, which is under control of the Earth government. Escorting her is the private security company CGS members Mikazuki, August, and Orga Isuka. When a group named Gallahorn attacks CGS and Cordelia, Orga sees this as a chance to rebel against CGS and launch a coup. Mikazuki and Orga are thrust into a new conflict. To fend off Gallahorn, Mikazuki rides an old mobile suit from the Calamity War, powered by a nuclear reactor, the Gundam Barbatos.
Barbatos! Wouldn't be a year of anime without at least one Gundam show, and this year we got ourselves Iron-Blooded Orphans, and boy does it not pull any punches.
Characters barely introduced are already getting killed. You think it was a Tomino-directed Gundam.
The mecha designs are majestic and sleek, much like the Gallahorn. Oh, what's that? What's the Gallahorn? Oh, besides it being the enemy group of the show, it just also happens to be the best weapon in the video game, Destiny. It shares the same ferocity and majesty of this Gundam show.
Hey, stop talking about Destiny. We got anime to talk about.
Oh, sorry, just really excited about rating again.
Shh! Focus. Anime.
Right, anyway, the mecha fights do not disappoint.
This Gundam show is really shaping up to be one of the greats.
Go, Wolfpack rounds!
Number 3.
At number 3, with endless dialogue, we have OWARIMONOGATARI.
During the month of October of his third year in high school, Koyomi Araragi is introduced to a transfer student named Ogi Oshino, underclassman Kanbaru Suruga. Ogi tells Koyomi that she has something she wishes to consult with him. When she draws the map of now S2, high school, she finds something peculiar. This discovery reveals a tale that wasn't meant to be told, and this makes Koyomi's high school life totally different. This is the story that brings to light what makes Koyomi Araragi. This is the story that reveals the beginning of everything.
The Monogatari series has been a truly fantastic series. It has not disappointed at any moment. It's a series that can be appreciated through its dialogue alone. It has a unique approach to the dynamic, and you'll never feel bored of listening to the characters talk. You'll always want to hear more and see what else happens, and you'll never lose your intrigue. That's the kind of series Monogatari is. They're all like this, and this one is shaping up to be the same. Not only does it have this formula going for it, it's also going to reveal the true beginning of the entire franchise. So if you haven't already started watching this series, you seriously need to go back and start from Bakemonogatari and work your way here.
You will seriously not be disappointed.
Number 2.
Kapow!
Ouch!
That was number 2, One Punch Man.
One Punch Man is a superhero who has trained so hard that his hair has fallen out, and who can overcome any enemy with one punch. However, because he is so strong, he has become bored and frustrated with winning all his battles so easily.
There has been much discussion about this title before it became an anime, from its webcomic origins to its stellar manga adaptation. It has been widely discussed about in the anime community.
From its first episode, it definitely seems to be delivering on its promise of wonderment. One Punch Man was originally a comedy webcomic, and it shows through his humor in the show.
Saitama is truly a fascinating character. Since nothing can match his strength, he can't take anything seriously. Although he strives to find something to make him care, he just isn't finding anything.
Yet, at the bottom of his heart, he knows what it means to be a hero. One Punch Man looks to be a hit anime for the ages.
Kapow! OVA pick.
There isn't much to choose from when it comes to OVAs. We try to avoid any OVAs that is just a compilation or just an extra episode of an existing show. We try to only choose original content for our OVA pick. There wasn't much to choose from this season, given this requirement. So we have ourselves Cyborg 009 vs. Devilman. Going along with what seems to be a recurring theme of this season is the old anime being brought back from the depths of the past. Not only does it have that going on, it's also a crossover. What much more would you want in this OVA? So go check out Cyborg 009 vs. Devilman.
Movie pick. Well, look what we have here. That's right. Don't look at us that way. We know we messed up. We know Digimon didn't quite make it into the spring season. Don't remind us. We know our mistakes. Don't make us relive the past. Digimon Adventure Tri. Saikai has become a series of movies instead of a television series. While it's slightly disappointing that we won't get to see a legit new season, we can still enjoy a brand new story of all our beloved characters with high production values. This means great animation, fantastic music, and greater attention to detail. There's not much else to say other than this looks to be a great addition to the Digimon Adventure saga.
Number 1!
Lupin III, La Aventura Italiana. Lupin III, The Italian Adventure.
Lupin makes a triumphant return with this new series. Another show we mentioned in our spring season, but we were unaware of the situation it was in. It originally premiered in Italy before it premiered anywhere else, which is why it was brought up in the spring season. But we're now finally getting the series here in the fall.
If you had any worries about Lupin losing its charm with this new series, have no worries. It lives up to its name and then some.
The animation gets a noticeable upgrade with beautiful, vibrant colors that pop out at you. It just looks and feels Italian.
All your favorite characters are here. Inspector Zenigata, Jigen, Goemon, Fujiko, and of course Lupin. But this time we have a new contender to the Lupin cast. We have the lovely Rebecca Rossellini, who is introduced as Lupin's fiancé.
That's right, you heard it right. The new series starts off with Lupin getting married to someone other than Fujiko. We won't spoil why, but you can expect the usual Lupin shenanigans to occur.
The show is as entertaining as it's ever been. The new series shows ton of promise. It may very well surpass the quality of the past Lupin III shows. It's never a dull moment for Lupin and the gang, and that's just the way we like it. Lupin III! Dun, 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 dun. Oh god. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun.
You're such fucking weebs.
Yeah, it's okay. We know we've been pretty late this season with this list, but we hope you still enjoyed our list.
Have the anime been living up to our expectations?
Should we have given more consideration to other titles?
Let us know in the comments below, and remember,
if you want to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button and hit that like button if you enjoyed the video.
Thanks for watching.
See you next year! Because you'll never see us again. Go, Wolfpack Rounds!